our next point is about being a hypocrite.
Yeah, being a hypocrite is very funny because, you know, you'll do something and, like, your boyfriend will just, Okay, like, this one example. One time, I was texting one of my guy friends, and my boyfriend's like, why are you always texting guys? Something like that. He's like, all you do is, like, flirt and stuff like that. And I was like, he's just my friend. And he's been around since before you. He's like, well, I don't go around texting girls. And this was like after school one day, like a couple months ago. And my friend Sharon is like, wait, yeah, you do. You text my sister all the time. And I was like, oh yeah. I know. I was like, oh yeah, that's really funny because didn't you like her at one time? And I was like, well, I never liked my best guy friend. And he's like, well, that's different. I was like, no, not really.
It's not different. Boys always think it's different. They'll do anything to get themselves out of trouble. And some boys are really good at turning everything around, blaming it on you.
BS.
I ain't putting up with that no more. I mean, yeah. And I have a nice example. You know, one day my friend called me up and told me that she was talking to one of her friends. Let's call her Michelle. Let's call her Michelle. And Michelle was talking to my friend Rosanna. And Rosanna said something to Michelle that she liked her backpack, and I'm probably getting these names. Okay, now Michelle said that she's like, oh, thanks, I got it from Kyle. You know that guy. And my friend Rosanna says, yeah, you know that he has a girlfriend and they've been dating for a long time. Yeah. And Michelle says, oh, I didn't know that. And she felt really bad. And yet she still continued to wear that backpack every day to school. Don't ask me why, but you know. And so I found out about this, and I thought I would milk it for all it's worth. So I wanted to see, you know, if Kyle, my boyfriend, acted any differently. So I hinted a little bit the next few days, and also when he gave her that backpack, they had gone to the park, I think, with some other girl. Him and two other girls went to the park and they had lunch and stuff. And she's like, "You better give me that backpack." And he said, "Why?" And she said, "'Cause I want it." And he said, "Okay," and gave it to her. I don't know what the deal is with that, because me and one of my guy friends, you know, I had these pair of pants last year and my belt was digging into my skin, and so we switched belts, and he still has my belt, and my boyfriend gets mad whenever he wears that belt to school. Not like I told him to wear it. But anyway, I thought I'd milk it for all it's worth. So I said something to him. We were talking and he said he wanted to hang out. So I said, why don't we go to the park? He's like, what? And I said, you know. I said, why don't we go to the park? He said, I love that place. It's so much fun. He said, all you can do is walk around. I said, hello, playground. And, you know, I definitely played it off. He had no idea. So the next day I was like, this is it. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I wanted to see his reaction so bad. So I told him. I was on the phone and I said, you're going to bring me some pretzels tomorrow? Because, you know, he makes me bring him food like he doesn't have none, but we all know he does. He's kind of a mooch. Don't tell nobody. But anyway, I said, you gonna bring me some pretzels tomorrow? He goes, no, you're gonna bring me some? I said, well, let's see, it depends. I said, those pretzels are very special to my heart, so you have to give me something special to you. He said, what? I said, what about that backpack? He goes, that's not happening? I said, not that one, the other one. And he said, what other one? And I said, you know, your Fox backpack. Why can't? And he was like, why don't you give me that? And he's like, you can't. Like, I couldn't have it, or he said something like that. And I said, oh, that's not fair. Michelle can have it, but I can't? And he was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And then he said, how did you even find out about that? And he definitely played it off, and he acted like it was no big deal. And I told him, I said, you get mad when I text other boys, so why is it okay for you to go hang out with other girls? And he acted like it was no big deal, and I didn't think it was a big deal, but, you know, if that was me, he would have been very, very mad at me.
Hypocrites.
Hypocrite. And that was point number 3.